cual, tienen moña, tienen feria y mentira que al final ellos tan a otro nivel.
Okay, so what's up YouTube? This is Gabby from Team DeathNote, TDN, back at it again. And we're here today to discuss the two leaders. So it's going to be the Mira leader and the Trunks leader. Black, both of them, of course. So I have one thing to say before that. And it's we have images of the winter playmats. So I guess the winter playmats are going to be a thing again. So we're going to be seeing two different winter playmats. The one at the bottom is I see like Ultra Instinct Goku, I see Jiren, I see Caulifla, I see Kale, I see Hit, I see a whole bunch of people from the tournament survival arc, and the one on top I just see a whole bunch of different people. I see Bardock, I see Vegito Blue, I see Mira, I see Towa, Pan, Kid Buu, Android 13. I see a lot of different people, and with the response to that, we also have what are going to be the promo cards. There are 8 promo cards. There's one that the image is going to be updated on the 9th, I believe. What I'm really interested in is this Black Frieza. There's like a Black Frieza card there. He just looks so crazy. So I just want to know, what that Frieza's going to do, because I'm a big Yellow fan player, and my favorite character throughout the whole Dragon Ball Z series has always been from the villains, because I also like the heroes, but from the villains it would be Frieza. Lord Frieza is just my dude. For you Broly players, there's gonna be a new Broly promo, which I see here. I think he's a size 3. There's Goku and then God Kaioken. So he's Kaioken God mode from the tournament survivor arc, and he's throwing like a Kamehameha. Looks very crazy looking. I see like a baby. I see Vegeta from the future. I see a Bulma. Is very interested in what that Bulma's gonna do because she's yellow, and I guess that's a Bardock Ozaru or something like that. I'm not really too sure, but those are the 7 out of 8 cards that we have there that we've been seeing so far. There's going to be the new promo packs that you get for participating at your local game store, guys. Now, going back to what I was saying is this. Alright, so Mira and Trunks. We're going to be seeing the difference between the two leaders. They're somewhat similar up to a variant, but then after that, of course, every leader is going to change up. So Mira, his effect is this. He's an auto. When this card attacks, you place the top 2 cards of your deck into the drop area. Then, if there's a green or yellow card in your battle area or drop area, you draw 1 card. So basically, Mira pretends to the green and yellow type of build. I know there might be people out there that's not really going to go with green or yellow, but he sets you up for overwhelm either way. If it's green or yellow, you actually get to draw a card, so that means you're replenishing the stuff. But you have to watch out how many times you actually do this, because due to the point of this, you can actually kind of like mill your deck out so much, and you have to be careful what's the ratio of how many different type of cards you're putting in and how many copies, because it's a possibility that you're dumping a card that you might need, and you have to really watch out with that, guys. And you have to watch out with the decking out part if you're thinking about adding people that actually let you draw, because between the milling factor that he has and he draws, and you're running cards that draw as well, and you're running like Time Patrol Trunks, which is a very, very big favorite, because the card is just that good, and you check the top 2 and whatever, it's just a lot of cards that's being dumped out of the deck. And the second one, which is the Trunks, his auto is that when this card attacks, place the top 2 cards in your deck into the drop area. Then if there's a red or blue card in your battle area or drop area, you draw 1 card as well. So Trunks is blue-red, the Mira is the green-yellow. So it's actually going to be very fun to see how you guys come up with style of actually playing these 2 decks, and we will see way much more feedback once the cards actually come out, that people start brewing stuff. I'm gonna start brewing stuff myself. And his awaken is when you're at 4 life or less, you may choose up to 1 card in your warp area and add it to your hand. Then you flip this card over. So he actually gets a card from your warp area and adds it to your hand. The Mira says when your life is at 4 or less, you may choose up to 1 card in your warp area and add it to your hand, and then flip this card over as well. So on top of that, they both had the milling factor to draw one, and when they awaken, they both have that you get the card from the warp area and add it to hand. This is the similarities between these both cards. Now, when they awaken, is a totally different story, because Mira comes into Dark Warrior Mira. Permanent, if your warp has 5 cards or more, this card gains critical. So, you know, best to believe that you're gonna have 5 cards or more in your warp area due to the stat that you're overwhelming a lot, because you know that's what the deck kind of consists of. You go into overwhelm, and he has a once per turn. You place the top 2 cards from the top of your deck into the drop area as well. So you know he sets himself up for overwhelm, and when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. The Trunks, his side says once per turn, you place the top 2 cards in your deck into the drop area. So he also sets himself up for the overwhelm effect as well. And his is when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. Then you may choose 5 cards from the drop area and send them to your warp. If you do so, this card gains plus 5,000 power and double strike. So he potentially gets the excess cards that you don't need if you're going to overwhelm that turn to put into the warp area instead of dumping out your whole graveyard. And you get 5,000 and you get double strike. Then you overwhelm if you still have enough cards in your drop area to overwhelm. So you have to really watch out how you actually make these plays with these 2 different type of leaders, especially that the deck is going to be ran with blue-red for Trunks and green-yellow for the Mira. Now, I've seen a lot of people online talking about Mira, about running the Cell package because he's an android. Yes, he is an android. The only problem that I see about the Cell package is that you have to be really, really careful, because you might dump out your size 3 Cell or your size 5 or your size 7, and you may never actually get to see the chance of you actually do this. But now, if you play the deck smart enough and you have it well balanced, where you're not actually doing his effect every turn, because the point of the deck, let's say that you build it in a type of style where you don't really have to overwhelm every single turn, then you can add that factor in there, you know, because Cell, when he dumps your hand, he dumps your hand. But just be very careful who you're playing up against, because if you're playing up against one of those yellow cards and you're trying to do this type of strategy on them, you know, they might surprise you with a cold bloodlust. So, you know, be very, very careful on that type of notion. Now, a card which I think will be very good in both decks, and, you know, excuse me if anybody disagrees with me, it's okay. You can just leave a comment below and then just tell me your opinion of the card. But I think it's the Supreme Kai of Time Continuity Keeper, because she's a 2-drop, she's black. You don't have to overwhelm to call her out there. Now, if the whole point of the deck is overwhelming and stuff, you can actually call this card out, because you're not really going to be tapping energy like that, unless if the overwhelm card tells you to tap 1 or tap 2, or when you're doing the Xeno evolve, you know. But she's a size 2, and she's a very, very early game card, because it says real clearly that when you play this card, you choose up to 1 black card with an energy cost of 5 or less from your deck and send it to the warp area and shuffle your deck. Then, at the beginning of your next turn, if this card is in play in your battle area, add the card that was sent to your warp by this skill to your hand. So now, I know that seems kind of far-fetched, but this is the combo that I've been looking at right here. Because the Supreme Kai of Time Continuity Keeper is this. She's a card. She's a 2-drop that your opponent's going to look at, especially if you're searching for those black cards with Overwhelm that you can actually use when it comes up to your hand that's going to be a threat on his side of the field. He's going to want to remove this card. Now, how does he remove this card? He removes the card by playing threats. So you're going to have him probably dump out a size 4 Beerus just to pop this size 2 card. You might have him combo to do a Goten just to get rid of this card. You might have him take out a Golden Frieza to put the card back at the bottom of the deck just to remove this 1 card, because he does not want to see that 1 card that you took out the deck that can actually change the game for you to be added to your hand, or for you to start doing very, very weird shenanigans with that card early game. So she's dangerous. In my opinion, I will be running this card at 4 because there's a card out there which I've actually spoke about in the Bardock deck, which is the Trunks. Because there's a size 4 Trunks that's exclusive to the Bardock deck. His name is Killer Sword Trunks, guys. He has the ability that you tap 4 and you Xeno Evolve on a Xeno Trunks, you know, so you send the Xeno Trunks to the warp area and he gets out there. And then he has double strike, but it's his ability, guys. It's that auto. When a card evolves into this card, choose up to 1 battle card in your warp area with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. So this was going on, guys. Even if he takes the Supreme Kai off of the field, it's not really too much of a big deal. Because if you're searching for these little cards that has an energy of 3 or less, and you put it into the warp area, and you do it with this Trunks, so you know, basically you're setting yourself up to dump the card into the warp area if you do not have them, knowing that your opponent's going to blow up the Supreme Kai. Go ahead and do it, because either way it's pluses. Either way it's cards that go to your hand or go into your warp area for the Trunks to actually get out there and pull off the combo to put that card back on the field, so that card can potentially be a threat, can potentially attack again. And the Supreme Kai of Time Continuity Keeper is actually very good, especially when you have the Mira leader that and you can find yourself to awaken fast because he's blue-red, so you might be running the results of training. You might be running rampant with the objection because the deck is blue-red, and you do this Supreme Kai, and you can actually search for those other mirrors that have crit. You might be running the deck with some Furthering Destruction Champa, so you can attack double strike crit, and you know, and the stuff just becomes very annoying, becomes very dangerous. You can search out for that for the Master and Bardock if he has a field of kind of like Weenie Roasters and you just obliterate his field. You know, so that card is actually a very, very good card in my opinion. You know, because she can actually fetch out the cards that you actually need. Then on top of that, you have Dark Plot if they actually remove her from your field, so the card stays in the warp area, and then that's when you pull off a Dark Plot on your next turn. You get a size what size again? I'm sorry. So Dark Plot gets you a size 4 or less and you play it. So if you get the Mira with the Supreme Kai and they pop your Supreme Kai, the Mira stays in the warp. On your next turn, you get to do Dark Plot, get the Mira, then it hits the field again, and this time you're playing it for free, and you get to untap 3 of your energy, and you can still do overwhelm that turn. Even though I believe that Mira does not get critical because he only gains it if you overwhelmed with him. But still, you know, it's just another 20k threat that's out there that could possibly take down one of their battle cards, that could possibly be a threat to hitting your opponent or whatever the case may be. So, you know, there's a lot of different combos that you can actually come up with these new black leaders. And, you know, it's just the thrill to see what's going to happen when people actually start making these decks. What's going to be the key factor, what's the direction that people are going to go into. And one card that I believe that every dark leader, if they're concentrated and warping, which they should be because it's a dark leader, should be playing, is the Power Aura Mira, because the Power Aura Mira is just dangerous even if you overwhelm or don't overwhelm with him. I explained this card in the Bardock set deck breakdown that I did, and he if you have 5 or more in the warp area, which you should, he becomes a 25k body. He's just staring at your opponent for 25k, and your opponent's looking at him because this dude, he can remove Jiren's after Jiren's attack. He can remove big boys like the Golden Frieza that they call him out and they remove some dude and they swing for 25. You can just tap 3, call this dude out. He's a 25 to their 25k Frieza. He's a 25 to their 20k Beerus. He's a 25 to their 20k Jiren. He's a 25 to their 25k 6-drop Gohan, the one that becomes a 2-drop. So the dude is actually a big body that's out there to be removing all these crazy cards that your opponent has on his side of the field, guys. So that's actually very good, you know, in my opinion. So yeah, I think we should be having some more updates on the cards on the 9th. I see some of them that says like on the 26th. So you know, there's gonna be more reveals up till then. I really believe this is gonna be, you know, like one of the last videos that I do about these deck set, the set deck breakdown, because you know I pretty much covered, I would like to say, almost everything. I'm just waiting on the yellow leaders to pop out. I'm waiting on the green leaders. I'm waiting on the blue leaders. One green leader that we actually see that's on the banner is going to be the Vegito, but I can't really tell out his effects, so I can't really tell you what he does. I saw one that's a Goku, a blue Goku. What is the blue Goku going to do? I have no idea. But we're just going to sit back and we're going to relax, and we're going to see what's coming out next for these type of people. So just remember, guys, this is Gabi, TDN from Team DeathNote, and just remember always, we said it first. Alright, peace out.
Que lo que es fortuna